Yesterday it was the Rotel 240, which was a very nice radio. Today it is a Harrier CBX, so same kind of thing. That looks smart. Like yesterday, we've got the factory original mic with it. And the power lead is nicely terminated with 4mm plugs, making it nice and easy to go into the test equipment. So we'll connect that up. Dixon's Photographic UK Limited. Power supply on. Radio on. So we'll start with the VCO. And select channel 40. I've got my eye on the time, I've got 9 minutes. This will be fun because normally I'm using the crocodile clip leads, but this time, because it's all nicely going into the power supply, I'll just have to hold it on one of the cans. Right, 20 volt range, resistor 4 far end, onto that can. .91. Just pop that up a fraction, should be 4. Going to transmit. Should be 4. Can I hold 3 things at once? And the red trimmer will do me. Now we'll go back to receive. There we go. So I want it between 1.9 and 2.5 on channel 1. That's fine. Going to transmit. That's fine. That's the VCO set. So it was okay as it was, but it wasn't quite as the book said, so we've got that corrected. So on the back of his letter, please find enclosed my Harrier CBX for check over and service. Fascia plate seems to be coming off on the left. Can you nail it back on? They said he didn't say that. So let's look at TX power. I'll switch picture in picture on. It's another one that's doing 2.8 watts. Deviation. Wallow. It's not tuned in on here. Am I playing about on? I'm on the wrong channel. Start again. Transmit power 2.8. Wallow. Testing 1 2. Wallow 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Wallow 1.8. And let's see how on frequency it is. So it should be 27.79125. You know it's spot on, isn't it? We'll just bring that down. There we are, we'll bring it down to there. Good. Let's see how the receive's faring. Right, see where we are with the controls. Squelch down, delta tune to centre, that to full, that to full. Ooh, not as good as Rotel's yesterday. So the big hand's on 1, the small one's on 4.3. So it's 0.43 microvolts for 12 dB Cybernet. Now yesterday's was 0.2423 around there. So that's got some improvement to make it come up. Okay, so we'll get on with the transmit. Turn that volume down. That one's peak. That's peak. And I need to put the camera on there so you can actually see. That's peak. Now we'll change scales because we're definitely going to go over 3 watts. Three coils here to absolute maximum. So getting the manual back out. So L4, L8 or L9 for maximum. L4 to rotate clockwise for 4.4. .4 is about there. And then L9 counterclockwise for 4 watts. It says in the manual 3.8 watts, but of course that's so they can get them shipped through without people worrying about decimal places. So that's channel 20. We'll just check how balanced it was, because it is, because I want it within about 0.2 of a watt. Channel 1, 4 watts. Channel 40, 4.05 watts. That's fine. And that's at 13.6 volts. So we'll just try it on 12 volts. Radio's doing 3 watts exactly at 12 volts. And we'll just try it at 14.4 volts, which some cars charge at. It's actually doing 4.5 watts. Of course, by the time it's been through the cable and all that, and I don't think the government inspector is going to worry over 0.1. Right, we'll better bring that deviation up. We want the might gain 1 to centre. And that one to about there. Let's give it a whirl. Wallow. Wants a little bit more. Let's try it there. Wallow. That's spot on. I want the power meter to actually say 4 watts. So when we key up, what's the meter say? It goes banging across. That's spot on the 4 by the looks of it. I'm just going to change glasses because I can't see these black needles on a black background in black. Yeah. Low power. Should be 0.4 watts, so we'll select low power. It's got no power whatsoever. Now that can be a dirty preset, so we'll just clean that and waggle it about. Doesn't want to be at 0.4. There it is at 0.4. So that's that done. We'll go back to high power. Check that. Good. Well, that's transmit done. Let's see what's why receive so awful. So we'll start by putting the oscilloscope onto here. We'll put a 100 microvolt equivalent S9 signal on. Turn that up so we can all see it. And we're wanting maximum way out, way out. Oh, that's one thing sorted. Now we'll see how the sensitivity is as I go through the synod meter. Wow, huge improvement. Let's put a bit more signal on for these. Change tools. Did I do this one? That looks great. Right, we'll read it off now. Is it better than yesterday's Rotel? So we've got the meter more or less on 12. It's probably a bit more fair in the centre. Let's go to that, back to that camera. So now we've got the big hand on 0.3 and the small one on 0.26, 2.6. So it becomes 0.26 microvolts. 0.26 microvolts for 12 dB sine. So that was quite out of alignment. I think it had the finger trouble. So now let's look at the S meter. So it should be bang on S9 with 100 microvolt input. Just slightly out. We'll just back that up a fraction. And S9 it is. And now we need to check the squelch. So we're going to put the signal generator to 0.3 of a microvolt, which is there. And we're going to switch off the signal generator to standby. We're going to put the squelch to full on the radio. The squelch is now full. Switch the signal and put the signal generator back on. And I want it to come in at 100 microvolts, which is just there. 10, 30, right, it's coming in too early. So we need to back that off so that it's stronger. That's it. That's where we want it. So it was that preset there. So now we'll turn the signal generator back to standby, turn the squelch to threshold, switch the signal generator on, see when it comes in. The answer is it's coming in at 0.6 and leaving at 0.58. So that's our squelch sensitivity. So that's fine, that's done. So that's the actual tuning completed very swiftly. And now we need to see what's wrong with this front panel. So, oh yeah, it's that one. So we'll pull the knobs off. As a church organist, I have exceptionally strong fingers. Don't think they're that easy to pull off. And we want to remove that. That drops 3 of the knobs on the floor. I'll just see if any of this is loose. Look at this big rusty screwdriver. This is how you deal with people's Pride and Joy radios. Hopefully we're hopefully applying some little scratches so that the glue can key So you're not going to successfully glue on a shiny surface. Right, that's time up, and I'll be using Bostik impact adhesive on that when I come back. So we've got Bostik all-purpose clear, which is an impact adhesive, but we won't be using it as such. I use this on church organs for certain things, not exactly traditional, but when you've got those lead compo pipes, as they're called, to go in, it is a useful one. So I've pinched this off Mr. Chippy's bench, and let's hope it hasn't been stuck in the tube for an eternity. You don't want to get over excited doing this. We don't want it oozing. So around this edge, going to be very, very careful. And then I've done this so that by the time we get to the on the air test this evening, hopefully this will be safe to use. Put the knobs on which haven't gone on the floor, and I'm pushing them right down because normally you don't have them right down, and this is just going to help put some pressure on it. Center position. I'll send out a search party of mice to find the ones on the floor. I think that's one. My foot's found one. So I'm going to be pulling those knobs slightly back, otherwise they'll scrape the fascia. So that's what we're doing. I mean, if it wasn't as nice and flat as it is, we'd probably put rubber bands round the whole radio. I'm going to leave that upright, and we'll carry on and do something else. Right, roll on a couple of hours. I'm still keeping the knobs tight on the set at the moment. So we're now on the roof aerial. One and a Roger. Oh, I've actually heard somebody. That makes a change. I wonder who Charlie Chalk is. So another smart set, and yeah, you can't not. I'll tell you what, we'll put that onto our favourite channel for later. So we'll see how that goes round Scratchy Corner. It should be exactly the same as yesterday's Rotel 240. And I think I've seen a box come through the door with what I think is going to be a Harrier CBHQ base station. I'm looking forward to that, because when we do the test at the end, it's going to be Harrier CBHQ base station to our Harrier CBHQ base station. There you have it, the Harrier CBX from 1981. Thank you for watching.